Hello. I've just noticed. You're not getting music. You're not. My whole heart pound music's disappeared. I didn't delete it. It seems to have eaten. Put that back. Put that there for a minute. Seems to have eaten the whole setup for my music again. Now, I did get the Amazon music working again, but oh no, there it is. There it is. There it is. So maybe you can hear. Oh, friggin' no, I have lost the will to live, people. Oh, people. I have to confess slightly. Stop licking my pillow! Cushion, whatever. Wretched animals. Oh, I wasn't tired till quite early this morning, so I didn't go to bed. I got up pretty late, and well, I can't believe I'm going to go back to work tomorrow. That it's Monday already tomorrow, kind of thing. So I am in a bit of a sort of distracted mood today. As you know, I'm always honest about how things are going on. I'm going to put these on because put my gloves on because it's that kind of day. Let's see if I can't do this. I was going to do some more tatting, but I haven't started that, so I'm not distracted by that at the moment. But I will show you where I got with it. So let me scoot on over a little bit, so I'm a bit nearer my lace pillow than I was, and grab this. And as you can see, I did a bit more. And I'm just about to embark on a new onion. So I am nearly doing pretty well. I do feel like these little rings at the corner would feel better if they had an early join to these loops on the side to hold them in place a little bit, rather than just kind of the ability to basically poke up and fold over because they're completely you know, loose. That is the design, but it is not one that I feel is a plan. As I said yesterday, I was slightly disappointed that, you know, all my actions. I was slightly disappointed with yesterday. To be honest, I just want to go back to bed. And that would be nice. So we're going to do a little bit of lace making, but I don't expect this to be the longest lace making we have done. It depends. Depends who turns up, depends on the chatting that gets going. Because to be honest, quite often, it is the chatting that keeps me going, rather than the actual lace, to be fair. And that is, again, part of the reason I do this, is because you guys help kind of keep me on track and keep me a little bit motivated. So, let's have a look. we need you and you. Yeah. I haven't tried making lace with these gloves on before, but my hands are feeling that, hands are telling me that this would be nice if it worked, but I've got a feeling it doesn't really. Because although they're really, really thin, these edges are not so thin. And why does that look a little bit wonky? Let's turn the table a bit. There we go. But the edges where the seams are quite thick. As you can see, they kind of stand out. And they go quite a long way down your finger, which is kind of nice in one way, but kind of weird in the other, because it kind of stops the tops of your fingers bending over. So, again, it's kind of weird for things like this. You don't look like you should be there. Why are you on your own? Where's your friend? So, 2. Almost like you each are one area. It's kind of odd that you would be one pair out. Well, let's see how that goes. That doesn't look right. Because it's not. So the question is, how in the name of mercy do we get to the point where you are a single thread? Do you remember saying that this didn't quite look right when I was doing it the other day? But it doesn't look so wrong now, but this next pin does. And what I can't tell is why, and the answer is because it seems to be it just does. Life is too short for this. Let's take these off because they're making my hands feel funny. They're nice, but they make my hands feel funny. So I twisted. You see, you're twisted below the pin. It should be one above, one below, and you're not. A single pin, a single thing this way. The answer seems to be no. Yeah, you look fine. It's you that doesn't. And the question is, why not? So, seems to be something wrong there, so let's undo you as well. That's not what I want to be doing in this anyway. Now, just scoot you down and we'll extract the 7 off the top of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that should be alright. So we can reduce the chaos by 7 pairs over it. Back over there. You seem to be fine. It's somewhere up to here that goes wrong. So I can't. I can see something here. There it is. That's what's wrong with it. It was you. The pairs weren't out. You're the pair. You're the pair. You're the pair. You're a pair. And you've come undone because you just want to be annoying. Feel too far away now. Let me grab you a bit. Bring you a bit further forward. Sweep you around the side. Bring you back because you've decided to make a run for it. Oh, yawn. Hey, Mika Catsme, how you doing? Me too. Absolutely. Me too. To the point that if you hadn't shown up probably in about 10 minutes, I'd have logged off and probably curled up on the couch and gone back to sleep. My interest in today could be described as zero. On the flip side, while I was waiting for my video to upload last night, which I didn't post about because I forgot, I did manage to get a bit more of this done. And if I extract out all of the long crinkly bits, there we go, I am almost back to making a neon. I've decided, excuse me, that I would prefer these loops to be joined to these loops to give it a little bit more stability, to stop things like this in the corner. Now obviously if you press it and iron it and, you know, it would hold still, but it would hold still even better if it was joined. Frankly, I'm not unpleased with how this one's turning out. It is looking reasonably uniform. It is. I mean, the Picos could do a bit of work, but then, you know, it's... Yeah, I mean, it's looking kind of reasonable. I mean, it looks kind of handmade rather than machine made, which... I mean it with respect to all tatters around the world, but most of them manage to make it look machine made, that it's so beautifully even, and you know, mine still very much looks slightly dog-eared at the corners. You know, not everything's quite as equal as all of its friends, but I'm not hating on it. Definitely going to try a 2-colour one though, because I think that would look quite pretty. 2-colour one would be nice, because the chains would be one, so a lot of this outside edge would be one colour, but one part of the onion would be another, so that would be quite pretty. Got to have me a go at some of that. Oh, you guys, excuse me. Yeah, that's how my brain's going. Kind of just wants to swallow my head. The annoying part is I went to bed quite late, so about 7 o'clock this morning. I slept till nearly 2 o'clock. Bear in mind it's only 3:30. So I had a reasonable amount of sleep, but I wasn't overly tired when I went to bed. My brain was still quite busy braining. I mean, it went to sleep. It's not like I lay there tossing and turning and wondering why I'd done it. Sorry, I'm trying to clean my glasses, which is a waste of time, but it's got to be done. And I just haven't got the interest in today. I really haven't. I mean, I would say, you know, hey, let's not bobbin lace, let's tat instead. But kind of just want to watch a shitty film and do nothing. That's kind of mood of the day. Um, the I'm not in the mood for anything kind of day. For want of a better term, it is a duvet day. It is the curl up under a duvet and do nothing. And on that note, actually, there is a song. No, that's not what I meant to click. I meant to click that. And I meant to click this. This. Turn you on and you off. I believe this will work today, so. You can't hear that. Which is weird because yesterday when I reopened OBS afterwards, it was working. I think I know what's wrong with it. But you don't have a volume control. I think I know what's wrong with it. I think I need to do that. Now, this could be a bad idea. Right, we have music. Here we go, let's play from the start then. About there, sounds quite reasonable. The problem is it's really loud in my ear. I know what I need to do. I need to turn that down. Turn that up a bit. There you go. Now it's not deafening me quite so badly. So that's kind of how today's going for me. Oh no, we don't need that going. I will play you the song that I wanted to play yesterday, so. This is somewhat explicit and technically impossible for me to do, but I kind of relate to this job this week. If you haven't heard it before, I love this. Ooh, that sounds nice. So that's kind of it's a song my brain rather likes. It's kind of jolly, bouncy. There are days when I think we can all relate to the sentiment. I mean, maybe not 100%, but you know, there are certainly days where, you know, I'll be proud to play that rather loudly over the tannoy at work, you know. I'd get fired for it and it wouldn't be worth it, but, you know, there are days. That 900th meeting that just proves you haven't got anywhere yet, but you're having another meeting. You know, those kind of days. Which was definitely this week. Oh, we need to discuss this. Yeah, okay, but we've known about this for like 5 years, and you've waited till now, and you've got to do it by March. You haven't even started yet. Oh, and you're not expecting to start till January. Excellent. Yeah. But you know what it's like? I mean, seriously, I went to a meeting this week, and without telling you what it's about, because I can't, so they've known for 5 years, at least, that this is coming. And it's got to be done by March. So they're starting in January. But I easily can tell you it'll be 9 months' work. I mean, to give you an idea, something else which arguably is a similar proportion. Yeah, as I said, they've known about it for 5 years, and it is the kid doing his homework in the corridor as teachers coming down the, you know, they've known about it for years, and that's fine. They've known about it for years. They chose not to do anything. I mean, it's got to be 5 years, maybe longer. It could easily be longer. And yeah, literally standing in corridors, scribbling on the wall, trying to fill in the last of your homework. It's, and now in theory, it should be a small change, but I kind of asked the question this week, so have you approached the teams to work out the order in which they need to do their shit, and ascertained how much work it is for them? Well, no, they said. Well, hang on. Basically, everyone has got to change something. Everyone. Without giving too much away, we've got to change domain names, right? We're changing AD domain names, email domain names. We're changing domain names. It's the same company, nothing's changing, but it's the same domain name, right? But we've got to change domain names. And so any app where you've gone next, done, and it's encoded the domain name as part of the secret settings that it's squirreled somewhere. For all those apps that do that, I mean, we've all, you know, some of them squirrel away IP addresses. Some of them will have, you know, I can think of, I mean, in my former lifespan, I was backup dude, and one of the backup products we used to use would have done it. So, hence, it's not really a big stretch to imagine that someone else's app does it too, right? It's not that it has never been seen. Well, you know, yes, you can change the domain the box is in, and yes, you can change the email domain and where you're sending the emails. Oh, but we've got to use certificates and login authentication now. Yeah, I'm not so sure some of the boxes are going to be dead keen on that. I'm not sure that they support that kind of connectivity to email, but we can try. But there was one thing that came up, and they went, oh, you'll need to do this to the servers. Yeah, to do that to my servers, because I'm Unix, I'd have to rebuild them from scratch. Oh. Well, and given that they were supposed to be off certain operating systems by May last year, and, well, it's nearly Christmas this year, and, well, they haven't, that's how well that would go. So let's not be pretending here that this is going to work, you know? But they all seem to think that, you know, oh, this is easy, you know. And yes, on paper it is. In practice, it's just not going to be that simple. Someone's shit's going to blow. And of course, because like every company, irrelevant of how little I might think an app is used, doesn't make it true. I might think that this is a Hello World app that does basically nothing, and that, you know, it's used like once every 6 months, and that they could get round it without it, and... But who am I to say that? Well, and this is the problem. 9 times out of 10, you know, you can say, guys, there's a train coming on the tracks, and when it hits, it's going to be a bit of a mess. And they'll just kind of go, no, it'll be alright. And you're kind of going, oh, I just want to sit over here, please. Can I just kind of... Does anyone want anything from Starbucks so I can leave the area? You know, it's that kind of moment. Boss, just going to go and get everyone a coffee and a donut. I'll be about 20 minutes. And then you hear the bang from the train coming, and, you know, they're kind of going, oh, there's a train. Yeah, I know, I told you about 3 days ago. Can we move now? It's that kind of moment, you know. It's the, I'll just be over here trying to avoid the crash, thanks, because someone's got to be around to pick up the pieces. And yeah, it's, I mean, there is a chance that it'll work, but I doubt it. So if in March I'm sitting there and I'm stressed because, you know, one of the things that is quite common will be the, well, you didn't do your bit. Well, I did when you told me, but you didn't tell me because I can't do it before you're ready. I mean, to be honest, I can do my bit for the entire lot in about 4 minutes. The problem is, no one's shit will work because they're not ready. So, you know, my bit's technically not that hard. It's everybody else's bit. Because it's a bit like if you wanted to take your machine out of being in a work group, put it in a domain. You go, click, enter name of domain, enter account to join it, and it goes, cheers. Mine's not dissimilar. Of course, it's a spam bot. Spam bot came to die. Port spam bot, spam bot. Spam, I am me. Block them, ban them, and deny the message. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things, is that I can do my bit, but it still doesn't guarantee it's going to work. I'm only a small part of the whole thing, and as I said, I could log in now and have all of mine done by 4. See, that's the kind of mood I'm in. I get in quite a lot. I'm hungry, but I don't actually want to do any washing up. I also don't want to stand there and stir it. I don't, you know, I want to just... It is the time for the, you know, almost microwave meal. Not that I do microwave meals, but if I can't chuck it in the oven for 10 minutes and then eat it, it's too much hassle. Even 20 minutes, because, well, that's 20 minutes later, and it's, you know, and it is, it's just, you know, it's the kind of thing where if breathing was an optional thing, I wouldn't be doing it right now, you know. I understand that feeling, yeah, absolutely. You're hungry, but you can't be arsed. You're thirsty, but you can't be arsed. You know, there are things. It's like this. I really want to see this project. Well, I've got one on my countertop, buried under a pile of shit. I use it very infrequently. I used to use them more, but not so much. And the Instapot is a thing of glory, let's truly be honest. But it is one of those moments. Today is definitely, I think, one of those days where kind of open mouth, stare at the wall, maybe stare in the direction of the TV. That's my intellectual limit of the day. That's where my kind of motivation and enthusiasm end. I mean, like this net curtain, I so wanted, you know, if this was strip 7, hallelujah, right? I so want to see it done, because I think it'll be so nice when it's done. I really do, honestly. I would love to see it done, but right now I don't actively want to be the one doing it. It's like having a really nice garden. You want to look out and see, you know, perfect grass with lots of little flowers, and because obviously you can have flowers all year round if you know what you're doing, and you know, a few bushes with, you know, green things on, and a tree or two, and you know, some maybe with a bit of fruit on it for the summer, and you know, you want all of these things. But you're bugging if you want to spend hours in the garden, grovelling on your knees, poking around in the mud, right? And it's kind of where I'm at. I'd love the garden. I'd love my net curtain to be finished. I'd love to be, but I don't want to be the one that actually does it right now. I want to kind of manage. Find some, you know, minimum wage dude. You do this, and I'll check your work at the end of it. You know, that's kind of my level of capacity at the moment. Made worse by the fact that even at this level, I still seem to do more work than everybody else. So, let me do this. Hang on. I'm not going to show you this because I can't. But let me log into this. No, that's not going to be on. That's interesting. Why is that? Why is that not got? No. Oh well, can't be asked now. Life's too short. But it's really, really weird. Because that was working the other day. Yeah, it's completely... Stop taking fucking photographs of shit. The one thing I really hate about my phone is that 9 times out of 10 you go to turn it off, and because you hold it, hang on, let me swipe something, right, because you hold it like this, you end up pressing this button with your thumb, so you turn it off with this finger and it takes a bloody screen print of it. Number of screen prints I end up deleting is absolutely horrendous. It's really weird that that's not... It's made me puzzled now. Yep. Sorry, it's got stuck on the table. There you go. Let me just briefly poke at something. Because that's concerning. Just need to log into something. Hang on. Give me a couple of seconds. You know how it is, the moment your brain kind of latches onto it, then it goes, but that should be that. And the moment you kind of end up down a rabbit hole. So bear with me 1 second. Fuck off, stop loading that. Don't ever use it. Okay. As that works. Let's check that. Okay. Right. So hang on. Scroll down to here. That one. Give it a few moments because it will take a while. this down. It's amazing how long the laptops can take to shut down. I don't know which takes longer, running the report or shutting this down. Come on. I might have accidentally left it to a whole year, I suppose, on the report, but it shouldn't take that bloody long. Everything just takes fucking forever. Let's have a look. Oh, it was only for this month. Jesus Christ, what is it doing? Okay. So, this month, bear in mind we've only really had like a week of it. How did he manage to close 8? He must have closed load. The number of tickets closed by me is 7. Second line of 5. DBA 8. Help desk dude 71. That's a bit more practical. Storage guy 2. And one of the apps girls 1. Right? From that, we are missing a second liner, but I think he's been off. And the other the third liner, who's done none. Click a ticket, click a ticket, click a ticket, click a ticket. Fucking shutting down. I suck a bit. Just fucking shut down. Life is too short for you. Just shut down. Look, you get the fucking power button trick. You're not even going to shut down for that, are you? There you are now. Ah, fuck off. Alright. Hey Sugarbessa, how are you doing? Mika Ketsme and I are not in the mood for well, breathing, let alone, you know, anything more excitable. Isn't it? It's not what we need to do this one. Hi Bailey, how you doing? I am unmotivated to do anything. I am in the mood that staring at the wall with my mouth slightly open, just drooling gently, is kind of the intellectual capacity of the day. I just can't. I just can't be asked to do anything. It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. It is just the, it is the Homer Simpson kind of dust bunny, empty head kind of moment where, I mean, as you know, I normally, I have ideas, I just don't have enough time to do them all. And then I get frustrated with myself because I'm still having more ideas. And it's not, I do not want to see this finished, because I so do. But as I said to Mika Ketsumi earlier, I'd love to look out my window and see a beautiful garden full of flowers, in flower obviously, lots of colour, perfectly mown grass, kind of, Hampton Court level kind of fucking garden. But I've no interest in grovelling out in my garden to do it, right? And I kind of feel that way at the moment. I need a, YTS level dweeb to come and do this, and I'll manage. We need to do an inch day. You need to work harder. You're slacking. You're falling behind targets. Oh, you've made a mistake. I don't actually haven't got the energy and the brain and the want to actually do it. But at the same time, I have, and it's kind of one of those. I want to see it done. I'm really excited. I properly, genuinely mean I am really excited to see this when I've finished. But can we just teleport to the end now? It's a bit like if I had one video that showed how this was made, you'd probably watch the first 10-15 minutes, get the idea, skip to the end to see the finished product. That's how my brain wants this to work. Can we fast forward to the end so I can see how it looks? Cheers. I don't want to watch my brain does not want to do the hours of bit in the middle, And it's hard because, as I say, I really do want to see it done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just don't want to be the one doing it right now. For those who were here last night, I did get some more done on my tatting square, despite fucking it up. I did manage to get some more done. It certainly does help having you guys to talk to. I think that's kind of one of the few motivations that keeps me going on the stream a lot of the time, is my brain's kind of going, go you. I meant to do something. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I definitely, it's partly the weather. It's the fact that you look outside and, well, you know, it's, 10 past 4, it's not even 10 past 4, but it's close. It's kind of like 10 past 4, it's getting dark. It's kind of not sunny, it's kind of cloudy, windy, miserable, borderline miserable. It's not, tonally miserable. We're not talking sideways rain here, but, it's kind of miserable looking. It's slightly damp out. It's not raining, and it's not just rained, but, if you went and sat on the grass, you get a wet butt. Because, well, that's how that works. And it's getting dark. It's not particularly warm. It's hard to be motivated when, nature around you is trying to sleep. And that honestly is, I think, the crux of my issue is it's not that I don't want to, it's just that, nature is screaming, it's bedtime. All the fun little animals have gone to hibernate. All of the, the pretty birds have all flown south for the winter. It's kind of, everyone's packed up and sodded off, and in some shape or form they've either gone to bed and will wake up in a few months, which just sounds heavenly, or they've buggered off to another country because it's warmer and sunnier. The flowers are gone, the plants are all dropping leaves everywhere and making it slippery and miserable and mushy and horrible. And even the ones that have got a bit of colour, and some of them do have some beautiful colour, but not many of them, because a lot of the ones around here are kind of evergreen or just drop leaves. They don't necessarily change colour. I do have some out the front of my house which change colour, and there's some lovely oranges and reds out there, but again, it's getting dark, you can't really see it, so it's just that kind of put the fire on and sit and toast and fall asleep in front of the fire. That is what winters are for. And I do need to sort out a bit of stuff so that I can, because at the moment I've got my inkle looms kind of in front of the fire, so I need to move them. But I need to move them out the way so that I can put my fire on. Although I'm not sure I can afford it, but affording it is not practical. Because gas these days is ridiculous. But yeah, sit with the fire on and just kind of zone out. That's what today's for. But on the good news, front, so on the 20th of November, I will break up for a number of days. So I will go back to work on the 1st of December. In part because I have the Friday off, then I have a week off. So I will be, I'll have a nice bit of a stretch there of not going to work and completely screwing up my body clock, which is part of my problem at the moment, is that I'm knackered now. I have no interest in being awake now, but roll forward 12 hours, I'm wide awake. I am absolutely on fire. Which is a bit awkward, really. Because it means I go to bed and, you know, I go to sleep eventually, but it takes a while because I'm not tired. And then, of course, right when my brain's going, I should be asleep, I'm getting up and going to work. And then, of course, I don't want to because, as we all know, well, you're tired now. That's why I've got the yawns. Because my body's going, well, you should be asleep, woman. Go to sleep. So, yeah. I mean, it's... But I am looking forward to my week off. You know, weekend a little bit. While it's only technically a week and a day, it's still a week and a day. Week and a day of getting up when I want, doing what I want, not having to log in and do shit. And I'll still close more tickets than half of them. So, but yeah, I'm just kind of struggling to... Well, exactly. But I am rather struggling with the whole do thing. It's, as I keep saying, I so want to see this. I so want to see how this turns out. I am properly, you know, going to Disney World level of excited. Hello! I am really excited to see how this turns out. But not enough to want to do it. Which is a bit frustrating. Because it's not hard, and it's really not. And like any chore, it's not a chore, but you know what I mean. Like any chore, if you just get on with it, it'll be over with. The sooner you do it, the more you do it. You know, the more will be done, the sooner you'll be at the end of it. All of those, you know, kind of deals. But I'm just in the mood for doing nothing. And I mean that absolutely. I cannot explain any better how uninterested I am in the world at the moment. Quickly kick something. It's not. It's not. I think you'd be safe in assuming that, I'm not wishing to speak for the group, but we seem to be primarily in the I'm capable of intellectually staring at the wall and drooling day. Um, and that is the maximum capacity of my brain cells of the moment. So if you wish to join us on the do fuck all and sit and drool bench, you are very welcome. One of us will scoot over a little bit to make some space. Exactly. We're all kind of sitting around drooling about, right? Well, if it's any... So, you know, we're all sitting around kind of going, I can stare at the wall, and I've just realised you've not got any music at the moment. Let's fire up some music. We did have we did play the Bruno Mars Lazy song, because well, that's very appropriate. And Josh Whelan fucked this job, because well, that's also kind of where today's at. And so let's kick some music in. See if that helps the brain cells a little. I was going to pull up the thing, wasn't I? I can't even remember long enough. By the time I've tabbed to the right app, I've forgotten what I was going to do. It's 9, isn't it? 339, yeah. Get off my finger. Yeah. That sounds like a really good plan to me. Just sit still, animal. Fuck's going to sleep. Because I'm leaning forward, trying to keep this on stream. Because I do find having this on stream is hard. Because normally I would hold it really close to my chest, literally, like on top of my boobs. And the camera doesn't go anywhere near that far, so. And it's not a view you need, so, you know. Yeah. Well, it is, and to do it on a camera, you're almost doing it at arm's length, and it doesn't make it easy, you know. 6, I think. Yeah. 2, 3, 6. Yeah. Seven. 8. And I remember to join it. I knew I had to join it to something, and my brain was going, what am I joining it to? The answer is the previous onion. So let's try and grab that, because that's hard enough. No, that's not the onion. I need that. This happens to me every fucking time. We need 3 of these. Get off me finger. 1. Two. 3. Right. We need to scrunch you up a chunk. And then we need to do poke you, grab you, pull. Using the wrong fingers. That's why this isn't working. That's better. Okay. 4. 5. 6. Gonna half make my back hurt. 7. 8. That is 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yep. Scooch a bit. Cross that up. Two. This thing curls around like this. You need to scooch. And you can in there. You come through that. There you go. Not the best end to an onion, but okay. And I've already forgotten. Fuck off! I need to stop dropping shit. It'll be in my hand and then it's not in my hand and I can't tell you why. Because I had no intention of letting go. But I do, constantly. Don't tend to do it with drinks. And food. Do it with everything else. Doesn't matter what it is, I'll be holding it and then I'm not. And why is it that every time I do one of these joins, it doesn't line up properly? There you go. So, 3. That's what I need to do. I need to untangle that a bit. There we go. Get off my fingers. 2, 3. That's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. My brain had an answer to that a minute ago. As I started reading that sentence, my brain was going, yeah, I know an answer to that. And it's bagged off before I got to the end. I know what you mean. Absolutely, I know what you mean. Yeah, 10's unit can work. To be honest, if I cracked this open and got at the wiring, that would probably work, you know. 10's units are the things that produces pulses that generically help with pain, but it's enough to just make your muscle kind of have a quick fart. But you almost want like a fairly low watt light bulb. Now, bear with me, this is a bit of a kind of segue. No, they're everywhere. TENS units are everywhere. They've been around for about 30 years. But what you almost want is the equivalent of a hot light bulb, but that's not hot enough to actually burn you. But as you touch it, it makes you jump and your body gives you that kind of, you know, adrenaline shock. That's kind of what you need, is that moment, and, you know, your brain will stay away for a minute, you know. But I think we're all in the... If I played some gentle music and set the screen to black, we'd all be asleep in 20 minutes, you know. You can post this. You can post links here, by the way. I don't block links. No, little pups. Being mauled by a small brown dog. The answer is you don't need the trailing shit. But it is an art form to just know which bit you can chop off. Move. Move! You can base the whole thing, we don't mind. I don't think any of us have got the energy to fight you over it, so let's truly be honest. And it's not like we've got to type it, we can just click on it after all, you know. Oh, so, for example, hang on. Hang on. Right. So that's the link that it gives me if I go. But if you strip off that is the actual link to it. And often you can even get rid of the last two chunks. So if you just leave it down to the... Yeah. So all the rest of it is like tracking bullshit. No, I mean, that was just the first one. That would just happen to be the first one. There are cheaper ones. There are more expensive ones. I mean, for example, if I do load a high... yeah, 24 quid seems to be kind of the core price. But if I say the other way around, do high to low, let's brace ourselves. Okay, the really expensive one's 94 quid. So, oh, they are. And I, you know, to be honest, looking at the, I mean, let me do this, right? So if I do desktop, there you go. Looking at the 10,000 here, I'd almost guarantee that's shit. Because, oh, well, it's got 48 electric pads and it's trying too hard. I mean that genuinely. You know, that's got 14,000 people love it. So that one's probably a reasonable one. You can have it in black or silver. I mean, let's face it, I don't give a fuck about the colour. So the fact that that's £4 cheaper, I picked the grey one. But, you know, that's the kind of shit that I'd be looking at. The fact that 14,000 people say it's good, probably a good place to start, you know. See, this is where I keep doing this. I can't get my shuttle through the stupid hole, which is why I try and use this finger, because then there's more gap under it. But I want this at the end of this finger, which it won't stay at, because, well, there's no reason to, you know. Yeah. True, but you do get a lot of false reviews on things. But when 14,000 people tell you have said it's good, chances are it's okay, you know. You know, if there's only a couple of them and they say it's great, well, they could be bought, right? Yes. This is the other thing I hate about this shit. Because I'm trying to join this to this, it's impossible to hold all of it at the same time and grab all the right bits and... I can, it's just fucking... I need like 9 more fingers to make it work. And 6 more joints in my fingers, you know? One thing that could possibly work well with this would be one of those knitting things for your fingers, so it holds the loop on the end of your finger. That could work quite well. I can imagine that working. I mean, it'd get on your tits because it would catch on things, but I can see it working. Yeah. She's the reason I'm doing this shit. The problem is I find things in my hand like this triggering my autism levels greatly. It has taken a long time before I can use a normal shuttle. And it's taken me a long time to be able to use a normal shuttle. I normally take to crafting really quickly. This is the slowest I have ever taken to a craft in my life. And my fucking couch is falling apart because the bloody dog's been raking it again. Yes and no. I do feel a need to try and see if the pattern works better for me with a needle, because I do get on better with the needle to a large extent. But even that took a bit of getting used to, because when you've got the needle, and here's a piece I made earlier, right? And when you're doing this, you tend to scrape your finger, and the constant scraping of your finger gave me sensory issues. And I'm not normally a sensory kind of person, but the whole hang on, I've got to put this in the right hand because for some reason this doesn't look right. So that's right, that's got to go that way around. The whole doing this with my hand freaked my brain out a lot, because it couldn't decide why that didn't work but that does. And I'm really logical, but my brain just couldn't cope with trying to do this with the thread and keeping it out of the way, and my brain just kind of exploded into a million pieces. And I think an awful lot of this is sensory issues. Is that, like the fact that I picked this thread up and my default reaction is to have the tension controlled by my first finger. So you're the wrong side, go away. So, no you're not, because that's the right side. Anyway, fuck's sake. But my default reaction is to have that control the tension. But the problem is that makes a very narrow corridor for the shuttles, and half the shuttles are already too big, too fat, too thin, too wide, and I've never suffered from any of this. I could pick, bobbins. I could use any bobbins, really. I can use any pins. I could use any pillow. None of that bothers me. This shit bothers me from the moment I pick it up. Trying to hold it in all the right fingers and get the right tension here and the right tension there, and it just bothers me from start to finish. Well, it's weird to explain to someone who isn't, because holding it with my third finger, it feels like the most alien shit to do. But at the same time, trying to do this, which would feel right, also doesn't feel right. None of them feel right. Doing it at arm's length, it just really is painful. And keeping the tension on this thread is really hard for me, for some reason. Yeah, but I don't struggle with that. I don't struggle that at all. I'm fine at that. I mean, even with double knitting, so you've got 2 balls of wool, and you'll have... Shut up! That's right, my whole couch is falling apart because I've got a cover on it because she's rucked the bloody couch so much. She's all but dug through the material on it, and it's... But it's also one of these couches that's got... Sorry. It's one of those... Yeah, I wish they would. It's a couch that has kind of like cushions that just float. And of course, that means the cushions move. So the dogs then move the cushions, but she scratched them so bad that there's virtually no fabric left. So I've got a cover, but the cover doesn't stay on because she scratches it off. Yeah. And I'm constantly putting this bloody couch back together. But I also apparently sit funny, because even though I don't sit and lean back, I pull everything forward. That'd be mean. She just needs to not scratch my fucking couch up and do the tramply shit. And then look pain when I mention it. Like she is now. Little one. Hey. You are annoying. You are. I do. You're annoying. You are annoying. Yes, it was a cardboard box, it moved. I know it is. But occasionally you're just not in the mood for that shit. I mean, we've already discovered that none of us are in the mood for anything. So, this is not one of the things that I'm tolerable for today. No. In fact, basically, unless you're asleep, I'm not tolerable. And even then, can you not? You know? Little one. Yeah, but I've been having one of those days for about 2 months now, and it's getting a bit annoying. For everybody, including me. You're annoying. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're annoying. Will you stop licking my hands, Rory? No. You're not allowed to lick my jumper, my hands, anything on the couch. That's it. You can fucking lick anything else, pretty much. Can you not? I said no licking of the hands. What did I just say? I was still saying it. I don't mind dog kisses, but just not on my hands, little boy, or my jumper. Regret saying that. I don't, because my hands are cold. I do need to breathe though, little man. And she's now doing that because you're getting a hug. Because she wants you to get off and think that there's something for you to get off and do. And you're looking at her with that fuck off kind of face, aren't you? Ah, Amy. Oh, little one. Oh. Worry. Oof. Oof. Oh. Come on. Good boy. You're a good boy. You're not falling for her shit today, which makes a change. Well, in a minute, I know you will. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. She's all grumpy. She's clearly having the same day the rest of us are. Yeah, she is. She's very much doing the whole. Woof. Yes. He's a good boy. He is. Yes, he is. Did I not wash enough today? No. Mwah. Boy, I can't lean back anymore, little man. Ow, that's a foot in my hair. Yeah. See, Rory will just sit on you and kind of hug you, which is quite nice. Occasionally he licks a bit much, but he does just hug you. She can't do that. She has got to be mauling, trampling, licking, biting, chewing, fucking everything. Oh, hair flump is getting thrown around. Which is the crunching noises. She's playing with hefts. What happened to the other hefts? Did we bury him? Oh, we did. Where did the other hefts go? Because there was hefts number 2. Temporary hefts. Little puppies. Hey, my pups. I know you're comfy. Ah, Amy! Darling! There isn't really room for you there, darling. See, if you would sit still like that, you could have a cuddle like that. But you don't. No. You have to squirm and lick and move and trample and maul and trample and trample and maul and squirm and trample. Yes. Which is not so pleasant to hug. No. No, it's not. Hmm? Just sit still and have a hug. If you want a hug, have a hug. But you can't have a hug while you're fucking dancing a tango on my lap. Hmm? I know what you want, do. Because it's 5 o'clock. And your little tummies say that your throat's been cut. Yes, I know. But you only got up at 1:30 and all, so don't be telling me you're that desperate. What are you looking at? Oh, I know what you're looking at. Don't know what it is. Oh, off you go. There's something reflecting out in the garden. And it looks like a light out in the garden, but it's not out in the garden. I thought it was her dangle, but it's not. Can't work out what it is, though. What could it be? It's going to be the reflection of something. But I can't tell what it is. Because all it looks like is a little white square. Can't even tell which side of the room it's on. Does it move with this? It doesn't move with either table. What the hell is it then? Anything else with the light on? No! It's the end of a USB cable. It's the end of a USB cable. By process of elimination. This is the bit that pisses me off. It gets... There's a single thing within like an entire universe. It's going to tangle on it. See, for some reason, as I said, this happens to me nearly every time I do these joins. Somehow, despite checking that I've not twisted it or anything of the sort, the moment I go to do these joins, it stops moving. The thread stops passing through things. And then this, I just want to chop it off because there's nowhere I can put it that will keep it out the way while I sort it out. And I can't do it with my glasses on. Because I can't fucking see. So why aren't you moving? Because you should move. Because you're all too fucking tight. I need a pokey stick. Because these have shrunk to the size of a nano dick. And it's too tight. But they weren't a minute ago. This is where it all goes hideously wrong. Trying to unpick this. Trying to unpick these. So I can redo them again. Because for some reason they suddenly all got mysteriously tight. Even though they weren't 2 minutes ago. A bit like being a tight knitter in the, oh well, don't sit knit tightly, and you're trying not to, but the moment you come back to put your knitting needle in it, can't get your fucking needle in it. It's kind of where this is at for me. Because I definitely did not pull them tight. But they were all suddenly really, really tight. And they've just gone tight again. Just by moving them down the thing. And you're all dangly and twisty, so can you not? And it never helps that you pull up the loop from the loop. Yeah, I know that makes a lot of Irish sense there, but you make the loop out of this loop, and this loop twists, and you're like, how? How can you need to twist? fucked up somehow. And sometimes, even though you do all the right things, it's not. It doesn't flip properly. And so it goes funny. Right. You thought... There's some stuff you can buy. See, where's all this crap on my pillow come from? Especially the black crap. There's stuff you can buy which is incredibly lightweight, for want of a better description, plastic mesh. But it's more like... yeah, I know. I wouldn't mind if I was outside, but when you're inside, I mean, where does it come from? And this mesh, I've got some somewhere, but it's in a flat pack thing, and if you could see what was around me, you'd understand that that is not a thing I'm going hunting for, not today. Right? But this is a really fine, almost like cling film plastic mesh, in that it's a really fine, very transparent mesh. Now, it is designed that people use it specifically to do a form of embroidery style thing, where they take really thin white threads and they embroider on lace, in essence. And a combination of this and that and sewing it down does sound like quite a good plan. So you could do a really open, lacy thing with this, but still have the net behind it, if you know what I mean. See, there's chunks of stuff that come from nowhere. And I've already forgotten how many of these I'm supposed to be doing. Sure, it's 848, but there we go. I'm just going to check. No, it's just one of those days. Let's just, I think the answer is don't fight it. It's not going to help. It is 848. 6. See, that doesn't look right. That's better. 6. 7. 8. Now I need to make you longer because, well, you're just annoying. Before you ask, that is Swahili. Don't know what it all means. I know what some of it means, but... Tell me not to adjust the ring just to finish one more stitch. Some barely fit my thing through it. 8. Now stop catching on everything. 4, 2, 3. To make you a lot longer because you're driving me a lot. Get out of the way. Oh. If this was crochet, it'd be so fucking quick. Nine. 3. 3. Yep. Ouch. Just ripped it straight through my fingers. Somehow. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Scoot. Turn it over. To be honest, a lot of the time my problem is the turning it over. It just kind of seems to mess with my head because everything's got to move to stay in place. 1, 2, 2. Get off. 3, 3. Peacoat. 1, 2, 3. Well, you didn't flip right somehow. 3. Try and work out which way up you're supposed to be. That way up. Let me hold you back where you should be. But this is the problem I have, is because it just dangles, it doesn't like staying in the direction that you want it to be dangling in. It's that one. Which is why I don't think I'd be able to make a one-piece big piece, because I have enough problems with this getting in the way as it is, and it's not big, so. And it twisting doesn't help either. Everything just seems to get in its own way doing this. Hello. Oh. Hello, little one. Oh, more tread. Wag, wag, wag. Sitting on my tits is not the done thing, woman. Stop standing on them and all. I know you're a mountain goat, but you don't need to use them for that, you know? Just sit down. There. Sit like that. That's a good girl. There. Oh, what a yawn. Holy shit. How did you not swallow your head? Huh? Are you sleepy, puppy? Aren't you? You're not sleepy. Just sit still. There, see? You can have nice hug if you sit down and you're still. You can. You too. You can. You can. Must be the longest you've ever sat still. Trying to poke your whiskers up my nose doesn't help though. No. Come on, off you get. There you go. You've had a hug now. Right, well, I think it is time to consider cooking dinner. It's nearly 6 o'clock. And we need to eat because puppies are hungry. I thank you all for your joining me in my rants and the day of lack of motivation. It does seem to be a universal day of just not in the mood of. But I do thank you for, it is always better to do these things together. And, you know, we are united in our ability not to bother today. So thank you very much. I shall hopefully be back tomorrow after work. Keep an eye on Discord, because if I've peopled too much, I may not be overly in the mood. And I've already seen a help desk ticket that I just really know that they're going to go, but I don't understand. Yeah, well, that's a you problem, honey. I'm not your mother. So I know that that's coming. We need to use Crontab. Well, yeah, but you set your account up. It's no longer, it's expired, so it's not going to let you. That's a you thing. You need to control that, because if we control it, we're responsible for your account, and then we have to answer for it in audits. And I don't know who you've given it to, and why you have it, and what you do with it. So I can't be responsible for it in your audit, dear. Which is why it is the way it is. And you made it, you deal with it. Anyway, enough of that. It's just one of those user things. It's like, but I bought this milk 16 weeks ago and it's off. Yeah, but I haven't used it. Well, yeah, so yeah. Bye bye, Bailey. Have a good evening, everybody, and day wherever the rest of you are. As I say, hopefully we shall be back tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.